which is going to feature number 16, Cumberland, and number 5, Woonsocket. As everybody has kind of seen, I'm sorry, 4 o'clock, not 2 o'clock. So let me give you a few stats about this game before we ask the teams to come on up. After enduring quite a few lean years in Division I, Woonsocket finally turned the corner this season, enjoying its first winning record in 9 years, finishing second to Mount Pleasant in Division 1B during the regular season and advancing to the Division I semifinals. And now here the Villanovans are preparing for their first Final Four appearance in the state tournament thanks to victories over LaSalle and Barrington. Meanwhile, Cumberland finished with a 500 record in 1B and was knocked out of the Division I quarterfinals by Bishop Hendricken, but the Clippers certainly caught everyone's attention in the basketball world last week when they became the first number 16 seed ever to knock off the number 1 seed, defeating the defending state champion, 3-time defending state champion, Hawks, in the opening round of the state tournament. Cumberland followed up that win by also upsetting number 9 seed Tollgate in Sunday's quarterfinals to earn the spot opposite Woonsocket in tomorrow's Final Four. So if I could have the coaches and representatives from Cumberland and Woonsocket to join us up here on.
Quite a year. I don't kind of know how we got here yet, but we're here and we're happy. It's great to be back. I think last year was a learning lesson. And Jackson has been pretty much our leader all year. One of the better players in the state. Probably, I think he had 18 double-doubles all year. And Dante, point guard, who has learned and has come a long way and has really mentored a lot of our young players. We're a very young team. We start 2 freshmen, a sophomore, a junior, and a senior. And we come back with juniors and sophomores. And then we have Mason here. Mason is our defensive specialist and has worked hard all year. Three-sport athlete, what you don't see too many days anymore.
We knew we were going to have a pretty good team, you know, when we first got started. So we set our goal pretty high. We wanted to make this tournament for the first time. So that was the goal from the outset. As the year went on, we got a little momentum, and it seemed likely we were going to do that. So we start to adjust goals. So when you set a goal, the next thing you do after you achieve it is set a better goal. So we kind of raised the bar to get here, and here we are.
So Woonsocket, this is your first time in the state tournament, but TJ, this is your first run. Obviously, when you were at North Smithfield, you made a little bit of noise in the D3 as a D3 team. So how's that experience going to carry over and help you out in this experience?
You know, I think it helped me more ahead of the LaSalle game, the first round of this tournament, because the news kind of spread. Gary, I don't know if you know, but the news spread when you beat Hendricken. So that was kind of big news, and it was. Having been in this tournament environment before really helped me, you know, let these guys know it doesn't matter what happens on the other side of a bracket. So having some tournament experience helps. Of course, it's a lot different when you're a Division I team as opposed to being North Smithfield, right? A little different.
Absolutely. All right, Gary, I'm not sure if everybody knows, but even though Gary was the Cumberland team is the 16th seed, they actually had to play a play-in game just to get into the tournament this year. So they were on the cusp of not even being in the tournament at all. So Gary, what changed at the end of the season? What turned your season around?
I think the captains here finally got to the younger kids and told them Jackson's been on this journey before. Last year was helped him, and he didn't want to see his season end. And Dante was with him, and Mason was with him. And we knew the young kids were talented, but they just didn't have that experience. We really had 3 seasons. We started off 4-0, 5-0, and then we lost 5 in a row, and then we warmed up a little bit, and now we're hot. And I think it's because of the seniors, to be honest with you, just mentoring the younger boys, teaching them, telling them what to do, how to do it, and not try to overcompensate so much. And I give the credit to the kids. The kids win the games, not the coaches. Coaches lose games. We all know that, and it's fun. It's fun here. This is our 4th time now. We're about 7 miles away. 2 pretty quiet coaches, and so it should be a fun thing going on here. I think the rivalry might be back a lot. I'm sure Connell's happy about that. I don't know where Connell is, but Woonsocket and Cumberland going back. I had his son, and Connell, you're a great guy, great supporter of the kids, great principal, and my principal too, Adolfo Costa here. Has been very supportive. He's got a big weekend. I mean, he's got not only us, but he has the hockey team. So this guy, he's going to be running around crazy all weekend. Adolfo, thank you so much.
All right. So let's hear from the players a little bit now. I mean, obviously it's a big rivalry, Cumberland Woonsocket, but you haven't played since last Sunday, so you had some time to get back into school. What's it like in school right now, as you guys are preparing? What's it like with your classmates, your teachers?
If I give this
how are
to
things going?
Dante, we may not get out of here for a while,
all
but
right.
I'll give it to him, so we'll see.
All right, we'll
Dante's
start with
like
Cumberland,
coach.
and then we'll go over to Woonsocket.
I feel like walking into school, it was real shell shock because no one believed that we were going to make it here. No one believed we were going to be this far. And as soon as the state tournament started, I told our guys, it's as long as what we believe in, we can accomplish anything. And as you guys see, we're here today. So that's really all that matters. It's been a pleasure to play with Jackson, Mason, and all the guys and be coached by 3 great coaches. So you really can't ask for more.
Well said.
I'm Justo Colon. I'm a point guard at Woonsocket High School. And I just want to say one thing, like our coach, he really emphasizes defense and rebounding, and offense will come to us. So that's going to be our game plan going into the game, really, defense and rebounding.
Okay, so
Thanks for
what
the
about-
info.
I got you.
Okay,
I got
guys, you got that right?
okay, so
Make sure y'all box out.
what's it been like in school? How's it been with your classmates, your teachers? Like, what's the mood of this whole school right now?
I feel like Woonsocket High School is like different. Like teachers are like really cool, classmates are really funny. Like it's just a different vibe. Like I feel like I wouldn't want to go to any other school.
Great. Okay.
I mean, even with our losing seasons, we always had the mindset that we're gonna go to the championship, we're gonna win, we're gonna take it all. So even with our losing seasons, we had a positive mindset. Honestly, this rivalry is big for us, especially as football players, because you know the Thanksgiving games, those games are big, and hopefully we come up big tomorrow.
So, Cumberland, this is your first year in Division I, right? And you've been in Division II. So, what's it been like? What's the big change from Division II to Division I, and how's that helped you get here?
I think the biggest change is the physicality and like the speed of the game. It's a lot faster. Teams want to run it down your throat more and beat you up a little bit more, as opposed to D2 where it's more slowed down pace. So I think that's been a big change this year.
Well, let's give a nice round of applause for both teams. Okay, a little bit about our last matchup at 6 p.m. North Kingstown is making its second Final Four appearance in 3 years. The Skippers have already added 1 trophy to their case, having beaten 3-time defending state champion Bishop Hendricken for the Division I championship. North Kingstown carried that momentum on into the state tournament, cruising to victories over Pontiganson and Westerly. Cranston East, on the other hand, finished second to Hendricken in Division 1A and fell to North Kingstown in the Division I semifinals, but the Thunderbolts have shown that they are not ready to see their season end. First beating Division II champion East Greenwich in the Sweet 16 was one of the hottest teams in the state. And then pulling out one of the most exciting quarterfinal victories last Sunday over a very good Mount Pleasant team. The lead in that contest changed hands 8 times before Cranston East finally emerged with a 59-57 win. You were a player yourself, and the last time Cranston East won the Division 1A championship was back in 2004. You remember that?
I remember.
So you know firsthand what the experience is like. Can you share what you remember most from that day in your high school basketball career?
That was a crazy day. I mean, we were down 20 points and ended up coming back in the second half and winning the basketball game to an undefeated Smithfield team. But just the experience itself, you know, being on the court and being there with your teammates who you've fought all season with it's a great experience, and it's a good way to, you know, culminate your career.
We were talking a couple weeks back after the big victory against Hendricken, and that actually was North Kings, with all the success that you've had, that was the first Division I championship in your boys basketball team, right?
Yes, in the 118 years of the school, it's the first D1 championship. We had a couple D2 ones, one in the 80s and one in the 90s. Just a tremendous accomplishment. You know, we've always tried to play a team basketball the best we can and play the best in the state and compete at that high level.
So you've been there and you finally broke through, but the season's not over. So what have you learned from that experience that's going to help carry you through this experience now in the state tournament?
Well, to stay hungry. That is the key thing. For our season this year, we started out 10-0. We were on a roll. Then we hit this little lull right in the middle and lost 3 games in a row. And we didn't play particularly well. We turned the ball over, and all of a sudden problems started to arise, adversity, this one questioning this, questioning that. Not bad, but what you typically have, everyone has in the season. And then we put it back together to the credit of these guys as well as the rest of the players here, and now we've won 14 straight. And we feel like we share the basketball, we have a high-scoring offense, and we can attack anybody. And if we play basketball the way we're capable of big things.
Okay, so questions for the players now, both sides. First one, make it easy. What's it like to play for your school and community? Why is that such a special experience for you? Pass the microphone till there's no one left.
I mean, it's great playing for the community. We're so supportive of each other. Everybody has our back around our community, so it's just great playing.
Pass.
Playing in Cranston all of our lives together as kids, we always had fans and we always had supporters. So bringing it to high school now, it's a blessing, to be honest.
As a young athlete growing up, did you dream about playing here and getting to this level, and what was that like?
Well, I had an older brother here. He was a senior when I was in 8th grade, and his senior year he made it to the Ryan Center, and just sitting in the stands watching him, I always grew up wanting to be here, just to have the same opportunity as him. And now that we finally won a championship, it's good to have bragging rights at the dinner table.
So, as a kid growing up, did you ever dream about making it this far? And what was that like? What was the dream about?
Yeah, for sure. I remember coming to URI games and stuff like that, thinking about what it would be like. And, talking with my brother was always a dream. I had a brother who played here a couple of years ago. He never even got to play in a state tournament game. So to be here at the Final Four is pretty awesome. We've all been playing together for like a decade now, and this has always been a kind of our long-term goal, and to be here is pretty surreal.
Did you take over the game in against Mount Pleasant? What was the turning point?
When we got down, we all stayed together, and that's what we usually do when we're down. And we know if we do that, we'll come out victorious most of the time.
Was there a special timeout that coach called and gave you that big motivational speech?
To be honest with you, I'm pretty sure the turning point was we were down 8 at the time, and I grabbed a big offensive rebound, and I hit 2 free throws and kind of lit a fire under everybody. So they looked to me. So I'm pretty sure that was it.
Championships. Coming for another one.
All right. Anybody have anything else to say? All right. Let's give them a nice round of applause. Our last matchup. Good luck to both teams.